City of Anamosa City Council, regular session, Monday, March 23rd, 2020, 6 p.m., City Hall Council Chambers. 1.0, roll call.
Crump,
Here.
Smith. Here. Lockhart,
Here.
Zumba,
Here.
Stout,
Here.
Capron,
Here. For the record, all council members acknowledged as they were present at this meeting. 2.0, Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
Just
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As far as the council and any of the public that is in attendance, we have a rather unique form of gathering tonight. We hope, fingers crossed, this all goes smooth. Our city librarian, Rebecca Vernon, has troubleshot this, and she is the quarterback behind it. She does have a couple statements she would like to make, so I will turn it over to her at this time.
So to prevent some background noise, obviously everybody who isn't a council member or the city administrator has been muted. If you would like to say something at some point, there is an option in Zoom to quote, raise your hand. You can go ahead and raise your hand at any point. When it gets to the public comment section on whatever topic it is, then we'll let you know when it's your turn, just in case we have more than one person who wants to talk. If you can't find your raise your hand option, you can instead just type in the chat that you would like to talk, and I will let you know when it's your turn, and we'll get you unmuted and all ready to go.
When it comes to public comment on any agenda item, or even in at the end of towards the end of the meeting, public with business not on the agenda, we still would ask you to state your name and your address for the record, please.
I'm not sure if everybody can hear me. Can they hear me in the council chambers right now, Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to ask, I think for everybody at home, if you guys that are sitting there when you talk, make a special point to talk into the microphone, because like when you put your voice right in the microphone, we can hear well, but it's, I don't know if any of the others would agree, but it's a little faint if you're not talking into the microphone there. So
Will do, Jeff.
just for what it's worth.
Will do, Jeff. Thank you.
Yep. Excellent.
We have a revised or amended agenda tonight. So 3.0, emergency amendment to the agenda as permitted by Iowa Code 21.4, adding item 8.1, a resolution temporarily restricting travel and for city personnel. Could I have a motion to approve this amended agenda? So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Alan, approved by Kay. For all agenda items tonight, we will be conducting a roll vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Lockhart, Lockhart,
Aye.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Crump.
Yes.
Motion to approve the amended agenda carried unanimously. 4.0, motion to approve the minutes from the following meetings. 4.1, March 9th, 2020, regular council meeting.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Jeff to approve, second by Rich. Any additional discussion on the motion? Jeff?
Smith,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Lockhart,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes carried unanimously. 5.0 public hearings. 5.1 public hearing on the proposed annual budget for fiscal year 2021. Item A, I will open the public hearing. Jacob, have you received any public inquiry on the proposed budget?
I have not received any comment at this time.
Does the public have any comment? I ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to close the public hearing by Kay, second by Jeff. Does the council have any further discussion? Beth?
Capron,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Lockhart,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Crump.
Yes.
Motion to close the public hearing carried unanimously. 5.2, Resolution 2020-15, adopting the fiscal year 2021 annual budget and setting levy rates.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Kay, second by Galen. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I've got, Beth, if I remember right, you told me this does not necessarily have to be done until April 30th.
Correct.
And with that being said, without having the purchase policy in place that we had discussed earlier, I'm thinking that we could hold off on this to get it accomplished.
Just hold off on the submission.
Yep.
So what do we need for that?
Nothing. Once it's approved, I can just submit it anytime before April 30th.
Make it contingent.
But if it's approved and we still don't have the policy in place by April 30th, I want that policy in place. We've talked about it long enough.
Maybe we should alter the,
We can make it contingent on the policy being in
Yeah.
place.
yeah.
Well, then that's what we should do, because if we don't hold the fire going here, I'm not sure it's going to get accomplished.
Agreed.
So I will amend my motion, or do you want me to withdraw the other one first?
I think, Kay, you would be just fine with amending your motion with the contingency. I don't see any reason to not accept it at
Okay.
that.
So I amend the motion contingent on getting the policy written and submitted before we do the final.
Second. Any further discussion from the council? Any public comment? We have a motion on the floor by Kay to approve the budget, the 2021 annual budget as submitted, contingent on receiving the policy. It was second by Galen.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Lockhart,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Capron,
Yeah. So Jacob, so we don't run into any undue delays, I strongly suggest that we get this policy before the council at the next council meeting.
That is my plan.
Very well. 6.0 proclamations. 6.1 proclamation of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Proclamation of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas sexual assault affects individuals of any gender, race, culture, or socioeconomic background. And whereas, in addition to the immediate physical and emotional costs, sexual assault may also be associated consequences of post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse, depression, homelessness, eating disorders, and suicide. And whereas sexual assault can be devastating not only to the survivor, but also for the family and friends of the survivor. And whereas, since no one person, organization, agency, or community can eliminate sexual assault on their own, we must work together to educate our entire population about what can be done to prevent sexual assault, support victims, survivors, and their significant others, and support those agencies providing services to victim survivors. Now therefore it be resolved by the City of Anamosa on behalf of all staff and citizens of Anamosa that the month of April 2020 is hereby proclaimed as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Anamosa, and encourages all citizens of the city to learn more about preventing sexual violence. So moved. Don't need it? There would be no need for a motion on that, as it's a proclamation from the mayor. 7.0, old business, none. 8.0, new business. 8.1, resolution enacting temporary travel restrictions for city personnel in response to COVID-19 pandemic. This is the amended item on the agenda. As the public may not have this resolution in front of them, I will read a portion thereof. Resolution for temporary travel restrictions on personnel. Whereas the city is an essential business during the current COVID-19 crisis, and whereas Iowa Code Chapter 21 as interpreted permits an agenda to be amended inside the otherwise required 24-hour minimum in the case of an emergency situation. And whereas delay of the forthcoming directive to the next public meeting may negatively impact the city's ability to function. Whereas there is a need to keep critical personnel available in the local area and on duty during this crisis. Therefore, it be resolved as follows. Critical personnel shall remain within a 60-mile radius of Anamosa, Iowa, until the public health emergency is over or until the governor's emergency declaration ends, whichever is later. And critical personnel are the city administrator, mayor, council, clerk, police chief, fire chief, wastewater superintendent, and water superintendent, and all other persons deemed essential by the mayor or the city administrator. And if a critical employee is subject to quarantine or self-isolation as described under the circumstances of the Emergency Paid Sick Leave Act, or a recommendation by the Centers of Disease Control or the Iowa Department of Public Health, said employee shall quarantine or self-isolate under the requirements of this resolution. Any critical employee currently located within a 60-mile radius of Anamosa, Iowa, shall not leave said 60-mile radius as of the date this resolution is passed. For all other employees, the terms of this resolution go into effect no later than March 25th, 2020. This was placed on the agenda for tonight per the our city attorney's office. They are addressing this through multiple communities that they provide legal service to. So this is something that our city attorney says that we should adopt, and he felt it was very important to do it tonight and not wait 3 additional weeks. So move. Second.
Could you guys speak up?
So moved.
Second. A motion to approve the resolution by Galen and second by Allen. Any further discussion from the council?
Yeah, I do. Dan regularly makes trips for water testing or wastewater testing to LeClaire, which would be outside the 60-mile radius. Can we expand that radius?
It's right on the edge. 60 miles, Davenport, that area.
Well, he's going to LeClaire. I mean, if you're driving, it's about 55 miles to the I-80 truck stop.
I just did a quick on my phone here. It's 82 miles to LeClaire from here.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
need to expand that.
Or exempt Dan.
Or accept him for
On that-
testing.
On that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To LeClaire. Yeah.
One day up to testing, weekly 3 a month.
So we could do Dan or his employee for the trip as an exemption, or what does Jacob think?
Maybe just put an exemption for necessary work activities. However you want to word it, absolutely vital or something like that, where, I mean, I can't think of any other examples, but that way you're not being too specific.
Which those trips could be approved by the city administrator and or the mayor.
I would, yes.
Galen, is that still your motion
I'll amend my motion, yeah.
with those stipulations?
Yes.
Alan, do you second that motion with the stipulations?
Yeah, I'll second
Is there more discussion from the council? Does the public have comment? Yeah.
Can you read back the amended motion then?
The motion was to approve as submitted with the resolution, with the exception of approval by the city administrator and or the mayor for those samples to be transported to LeClaire. that you can definitely.
Can we amend that also to include possibly any emergency runs that may need to be done for any equipment repairs? Not just limiting it to Leclerc?
So moved.
I'd still keep the verbiage in there to be approved by the mayor and or city manager. Just
And-
Right, but to amend it so that just in case there's an emergency that they need to go, I don't know, say to Waterloo or Des Moines for parts for emergency, so that at least we've got, if we're not limiting it to just Leclerc.
Very good
So-
point, Rich. I think we can just have the verbiage more robust as the approval by the city administrator and or the mayor.
Yep.
Crump,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lockhart,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
yes.
Capron,
Yeah. Motion of 8.1 carried unanimously. 8.2, resolution enacting emergency declaration for the city of Anamosa in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a rather lengthy resolution. It was part of the original agenda. Unless the council or public deems otherwise, I will not read it all.
I'll make the motion to approve. Second.
If you want, I can go through the just basic 4 concepts.
Please do.
First, it's just providing that for the time being, until further notice, we'll be conducting our meetings electronically to stay in line with the guidance from the Iowa Department of Public Health and the governor's declaration. All public facilities will be closed to the public until further notice. Employees will continue to work. If appointments need to be made, those can be made so that meetings can be set up, but otherwise everything will be, as much as possible, things will be done electronically. All water shutoff procedures will be postponed until further notice. So you'll still receive your bill, it's still due, but no delinquency fees, reminder notices, or shutoffs will be scheduled until further notice. You will obviously be notified by a reminder notice when this is lifted. And finally, just more of an internal feature, but putting into effect what was already complying with the Families First Coronavirus Response Act signed into law by President Trump. It mostly pertains to sick leave for employees.
In section 3, postponement of water utility shutoff procedures, item A. Can we waive the delinquency fees as well through the duration of this?
That is, so a second version went out that it waives those fees as well. So that went out to the council, and that's the one that I was referring to in my description. The original one in the packet does not include those, but but the revised version does.
Okay, I must have an obsolete one then.
So I guess, yeah, we should make clear that we're referring to the version 2 or the version that or postpones those delinquency fees. That was the only change between the two versions.
Further discussion from the council? We have a motion by Rich, second by John, to approve as submitted.
Smith,
Yes.
Mockart,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Crump.
Yes.
Motion 8.3 carried unanimously. Excuse me, 8.2. 8.3, resolution making commitment to extend Old Dubuque Road to Commercial Park.
So moved.
Second. We do have Sheriff Grover and past Councilman Cody Schaefer, who are serving on the committee. Gentlemen, would you like to make comments?
Cody Schaefer, past councilman on the committee to.
Hey, Cody, speak up, please.
Sorry, on the committee to see this project through. So as a committee, we've gathered a consensus that this is necessary, and we are looking for the city to jump on board and continue this. So at this point, we're getting in the talks of how to finance it. So at this point, we just need a consensus to keep moving forward. And at a later date, when it's more convenient for everybody to get together, more discussions will need to be had. Thank you.
Thanks, Cody.
Greg Robber, the Jones County Sheriff, and so I'm also a committee member. And so it's been the city, the county, and the Iowa Department of Transportation that's been actively involved in these committee meetings to see how best to move forward to get this project accomplished. And so one of the roadblocks that happened 10, 12 years ago was the financial portion of this. And so DOT is looking to basically make sure that the city would be on board with the financial portion of extending that, since it is going to be within the city limits. I would like to also tell you that as a committee member, the property owner out there has had some involvement through a third party as far as in support of the project. And there are plans that if this project is to move forward with the extension, that they would look at housing developments out there and adding homes out there. And so I think for everybody involved, just not the safety portion, but also having the ability for the city to grow its tax base, add homes out there, can be a nice benefit to a project like this. So we thought it was an important time to make sure that the city was going to be on board and at least looking at avenues to make sure that before we get too far into this, that the project could be not only approved, but also starting to look at those avenues for the funding portion. Thank you.
So to add along with Cody and Sheriff Grover's comments, it is at the point now that the county is committed, the DOT is committed, and the city They are looking for the city to make the same commitment. With a lot of projects, we understand the devil is in the details, and that is yet to come through additional planning meetings by the committee. But the direction, those directions are going to be driven by the council's decision tonight, that they are fully committed to seeing this project advance and the extension of Old Dubuque Road to occur. This is a street project, and it falls within the city. The county and DOT are at the table, and they will work with us. But the city needs to make the decision if they are fully committed to the extension of this road.
Yeah, we have to make this happen.
Very good point, Jeff.
I made the motion. I just need a second.
Second.
I have a motion by Kay and second by Galen to approve the extension of the Old Dubuque Road. Further council discussion.
Let's just keep moving forward.
The committee certainly will, Rich. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Rebecca acknowledged she does not see any, so we will move to the vote.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Agenda item 8.3 carried unanimously. Thanks. 8.4, discussion and possible action on fiber optic vaults within the right of way.
Could we table this one until a meeting when more people could show up to discuss this?
I'm okay with that.
Rich, I'll take that as a motion to table.
Yes.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by John to table 8.4 to a further date.
Crump,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Motion to table 8.4 carried unanimously. 8.5, resolution approving the hire and setting salary for temporary water operator.
So moved.
Second. Any further council discussion? Public comment? I have a motion by Rich, second by Alan to approve setting of the salary as submitted.
Just one item here that maybe we need to clarify. But in the now therefore be it resolved section, it says starting on March 23rd, 2020 and concluding on March 19th, 2020. Can we change that to March 19th, 2021?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a
That's
bit,
acknowledged, yes, if not everyone heard.
Ready? Zumba,
Yeah.
Stout,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Lockhart,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Resolution 8.4 carried unanimously. Excuse me, 8.5. 8.6, approval of the committee appointment of Galen Capron to the Jones County Solid Waste Commission for 2020 as recommended by Mayor Rod Smith.
So moved.
Second. Any additional discussion from the council? Motion by Rich, second by Alan to approve Galen's appointment to the Solid Waste Commission.
Smith,
Yes.
Lockhart,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Crump.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. 8.7, agreement with the city of Hiawatha concerning the relocation of commercial or industrial enterprises.
This item requires no action, so we can move forward.
As City Administrator Jacob Sheridan had mentioned, 8.7 is mute and doesn't carry any action with it. 8.8, review and approval of current bills.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Rich and second by Kay to approve the bills. Any further council discussion?
I just had a quick question to the Dan's overhead doors for $6,330. That which building was that on?
Sludge building at the wastewater plant.
Did it just get damaged or did it wearing out or?
It was worn out. It's a real corrosive environment down there, so we had to replace it.
Whoever's talking, can they get to a microphone?
Yeah, it was at the wastewater plant in a sludge belt press building. Excuse me. And it was just worn out. It's real corrosive down there, and it was time to replace it.
Okay. Just curious.
It was a roll-up door, yes. We replaced it with just a regular door. A roll-up door would have been $30,000.
Any further discussion?
Lockhart,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes. Motion to pay bills carried unanimously. 9.0, City Administrators Report.
Just a few items. First, regarding the downtown revitalization grant, we had a few meetings last Monday, and now just have a couple meetings left between the architect and building owners to finalize their renderings and cost estimates. There will be future action items from the council regarding slum and blight studies that are required to be eligible for the grant, as we work with ECOG, the grant writer / administrator. But we are well on schedule. We were on schedule to meet the original deadline towards the end of April, but that has been extended, I believe, to July. We had a department head meeting last Tuesday. Yes.
Speak closer to the mic. We're having difficulty hearing you.
Is that better? Last Tuesday, we had a department head meeting. Part of that meeting was a conference call with the governor's office and as well as other cities across the state on, updates related to COVID-19. Those, this situation is continuing to evolve. So we're doing our best to stay on top of that. We will have department head meetings weekly. They may not always be on Tuesday, but we do have one scheduled for tomorrow. And that's all I have at this time, unless there are any questions.
Are there any questions for Jacob? Thanks, Jacob. 10.0, Mayor and Council reports. Mayor's report. As most are aware, through tonight's resolution, effective today, City Hall will be closed to public access. You can still submit your utility payments through the drop box on the west side of the building. Some may think this is an extreme measure, but it is what is necessary to keep the safety of our city employees and the public as well. The library and Lawrence Center have been closed, and they also will remain until further notice. I have been in communication with the location managers at Dollar General, Fairway, and Walmart. They had a very high level of confidence that they can keep the shelves stocked with the daily need items for the most part, as long as the public would just relax on the volume of items that they are purchasing. Again, they assured me that they could keep these shelves stocked with what is needed once the product starts to flow into them. We just need the public to take a step back and only procure what they need in the immediate time. With the COVID-19 virus, for the most of us, this is an outbreak that we have never seen in our lifetimes. And we all are hoping that we don't see it again. If we take the necessary precautions that our federal and state leaders are informing us, which are coming from health professional experts as well as others, we will get through this. What will set us back is if the healthcare system becomes inundated with sick and ill resident community. So we ask that you adhere to any of the governor's proclamations and declarations that they set. There are better days ahead, and we will see them as long as we work together. The residents of Anamosa and Jones County are a strong and resilient group, and we will fight this and come out better on the other end. Just be patient and stay safe. 8.2, council reports.
Library board met and we talked about some resolutions, some policy issues, and approved the purchase of a new geothermal pump. That was about it.
Not much report on this side, other than the floor it needs to be polished. I have plenty of time to do it now. There won't be anybody there in the building. So that might get taken care of here in the near future. But the senior citizens food, but on the jets, I feel I haven't had contact with them. I've left a message, but they seem to be doing good without me. We'll find out.
Thanks, Kay and Alan, for those reports.
For tourism, their office is going to be closed through at least the end of this month and possibly into April.
Thanks, Rich. There's nothing else. 9.0, public with business with the council on items not on the agenda. I will ask again, public with business with the council on items not on the agenda. If there is none, 10.0, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Galen.
Crump,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lockhart,
Yes.
Capron,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba.
Yes.
Adjourned.
Everybody out of the pool.